I'm pretty sure they actually do. And I was gonna eat. And then I had to. It said
He sat there, glued to his seat, unsure what next to do. He was afraid, ashamed, and embarrassed. It seemed the ground would open up and just swallow him up. He had wet his pants. Every human being makes mistakes, but sometimes we are tempted to highlight the mistakes of others while we forget we probably could also be in the same situations. It could be that we laughed at a seeming dull boy in class, or we teased someone for missing the music line, or made mockery of someone's poor English at some point. All of these display a weakness that we really should have overcome, not just for our own sake, but for the sake of others. A 9-year-old boy sat at his desk, frozen with fear and embarrassment. He wondered what next. Under his desk was a light puddle between his feet, and the front of his trousers were wet. He thinks his heart is going to stop because he cannot possibly imagine how this had happened. What was going to happen next? That's never happened before. Of course, he knows that when the other boys find out, he will never hear the end of it. When the girls find out, oh my God, did that end his life? Sure enough, they'll never speak to him again as long as he lives. The boy believes his heart is going to just stop. He puts his head down and prays something like, "Dear God, this is an emergency. I need help right now. What am I going to do? 5 minutes from now, I'm going to be dead meat." He looked up from his desk, and here comes the teacher with a look in her eyes that says he has been discovered. Oh, he was jittery. As the teacher walked towards him, a classmate named Jane was carrying a goldfish bowl filled with water. Jane was to pass close to him. Suddenly, Jane trips and fell in front of a teacher, and inexplicably, the bowl of water tumbled out of her hands and fell into the boy's lap. His trousers all abundantly wet right now. The boy pretended to be angry, but all the while in his heart, he was saying to himself, "Oh Lord, thank God." Now, all of a sudden, instead of being the object of ridicule, the boy is the object of sympathy. Everybody came up. The teacher herself rushes over and took him downstairs and gives him gym shorts to put on while his trousers dry out. All the other children went on their hands and knees, cleaning up around his desk. The sympathy was wonderful. As life would have it, the ridicule that should have been his was transferred to someone else, and now Jane. As the girl herself would try to help, they told her, "Get out of here, you careless one. You've done just enough." Finally, at the end of the day, as they are waiting for the bus, the boy walks over to Jane and whispered, "I guess you did that on purpose, didn't you?" And Jane whispered, "Yes, because I once wet my pants too." All of us go through all good and bad things in life. We should always remember how we felt when we were in the same condition and should not mock other people for being in it. Trying to understand other people's situation as if it were yours is a great strength and makes us humane. Never take advantage of other people's misfortune. We should always do the best we can to save others from public ridicule and embarrassment. You never know, it can happen to you too. Therefore, put yourself in a condition and position yourself to be of help to someone who's gonna need it.